Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I'm so grateful that you're here to join me and listen to me talk about this very important topic about trauma and PTSD. I have been recently taking some continuing education, and this class has just really struck me to be so important. So I found that by learning more about this topic, that there are more people that are that have suffered from a trauma, some part of their life. Most people have suffered from some kind of trauma in their life, and so just wanted to talk to you about how we can recognize it in ourselves and recognize it in other people, and also be able to recognize when our triggers are a response or reaction from the trauma that we've had in the past, and to understand it. The more we understand where our triggers are coming from, the more we can change our perspective and be more present in the moment and be able to choose our emotions in the moment. So I'm reading a lot of notes today because there's so much to read to share with you about PTSD and trauma. I'm reading lots of notes from a class that I took a couple days ago, post-traumatic stress disorder and massage. Just because it will just help me, get through it really smoothly, and I think that it'll help you understand exactly what I want to communicate to you. So the type of people that I normally see when they come in for a bodywork session is, just for any kind of pain, really, mostly shoulder pain. People have a knot here in their shoulder, or they have a headache and they have lots of tension in their neck, and they've lost their range of motion. I have people coming in to see me for sciatic pain. I have people come in to see me to improve their range of motion for, joint pain, relaxation, stress relief. So these are the kinds of things that people say when they come in. But, and I've known this for a long time, but just being reminded recently how connected the body and the mind is so profound in knowing, just being reminded of how connected we are mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. The earlier that trauma is treated, the more likely it is that you can learn to manage it much easier, and not the longer it goes, the harder it is to treat it. So massage is we have a really beautiful way to be able to help the body come back, help you come back into the body, accept yourself, bring peace into your here now moment, so that the tissues can let go of those old traumatic events and learn how to manage the emotions around them. So we touch, as a massage therapist, I touch the body to help restore harmony and to also stay healthy, happy, and fit. My clients, I place, my clients' welfare number one, and you trust, when you come to see somebody like me, you trust that I know what you need, right? And so it's amazing how massage is just more than just touch. There's a whole communication that comes with it through the nervous system, and so there's a lot more that's happening when I touch somebody, that there's this communication that's happening that oftentimes I have a hard time describing what that is, but it's just a feeling. This feeling comes with, and I don't bring it up in the session. I only will allow the person that I'm working with to bring it up if they feel like they need to, talk about something. It's never anything that I force a conversation with anyone. But this non-verbal communication that I have with people when I work with them, there are literally wounds, unseen wounds that come up, and these wounds are inflicted upon them by you as a receiver. When you come to see me for a massage, these invisible wounds are inflicted upon you by either a physical or a psychological nature. So just sharing with you a little bit of numbers here, just to tell you how much trauma and PTSD really actually affects people, how many people it affects. Recent reports indicate that military troops diagnosed with PTSD jumped by approximately 50% in 2007. In 2006, 14,000 troops diagnosed with this disorder, whereas only 1,632 were diagnosed in 2003. So it's a huge jump. Within four years of that time, the number jumped to 40,000 troops. And with early treatment, chances for recovery, like I said before, is better. But PTSD symptoms may stay with them for the remainder of their lives. So it's important that people like this find support, and find a coach, find a body worker, find a therapist, psychotherapist, to help support them through managing it. But the military people are not the only people who suffer from PTSD. It's also seen in victims of child abuse and domestic violence and national disasters and other traumatic events. Some individuals heal from these events and lead a normal life, but there are those who carry the burden of trauma with them forever, and is and imprinted in their body indefinitely. Even people who are people who have experienced really traumatic childhood with a lot of angry upbringing. If there's a lot of yelling in the house and stress, and then even that can be a traumatic experience for a child. You can see that people can become very triggered by loud noises, especially if it reminds them of an old event. So these emotions sometimes, when we become triggered by things that are going on around us, we don't know what's going on, and we become confused, and it just exacerbates, and it becomes very frustrating. So what exactly is PTSD? The American Psychiatric Association considers PTSD an anxiety disorder developed after being exposed to, either by direct experience or witnessing, an extreme or overwhelming traumatic event where they felt intense fear, helplessness, or horror. Massage therapists like me and other body workers are in a really amazing position to be able to recognize physical symptoms and emotional issues that people are experiencing, and who are suffering from PTSD. These people are frequently people who are suffering from PTSD often feel a lot of pain in their body, fatigue, stomach pains. It's actually chronic pain, trouble breathing, headaches, muscle cramps, muscle aches, and especially low back pain. Further indicators of PTSD include emotional absence or unresponsive depression. So just pay attention to this list here, because then this list will help you understand and recognize if somebody close to you or a loved one is suffering from PTSD. So these indicators are emotional absence, like withdrawal, unresponsiveness, depression, exaggerated startle responses, or extreme ticklishness, numbness or hypersensitivity to touch or over parts of the body. So if somebody doesn't like to be touched, maybe this person has experienced some kind of trauma in their past. Physical pain kind of moves around their body. It's like a traveling pain. One day it hurts here, another day it hurts in their elbow, another day it hurts in their head. So traveling, migrating symptoms of physical pain. These people disassociate from themselves, and they're very irritable and have outbursts of anger or outbursts of crying, sudden outbursts of crying. So some things that to think about when you're witnessing these kind of reactions or responses from life is that these, if you want to write this down, it's really important. These people, your loved ones, need to feel safe. They need to feel trust. They need to feel trusted and to trust you. They need to feel some control over their life. They need to feel valued, and they need to feel close to others. And really, massage therapy can help with all of these. So that's why it's so beautiful to be able to offer this to people who suffer from trauma. All right, so sometimes after an initial experience, either almost immediately or in some cases later, the person shows signs of PTSD, including hypervigilance, avoidant behavior, and intrusive thoughts. So these, people who can't stop thinking negatively in their mind. And it's just constantly interrupting their concentration, so they can't stay focused on a task. They become, super hyper aware of their physical body and what they're thinking, and constantly hyper aware of conversations that they wish, the overthinking conversation, things like that. So these intrusive thoughts and behaviors and avoidant behaviors really affect their everyday lives, and they affect you as family members and co-workers and friends. It's interesting, and I think that one of the reasons why I'm so interested in this topic is because I saw, before my brother committed suicide, I saw patterns of him withdrawing, and so it makes me think twice about, my own kids when they seem more withdrawn and they don't want to communicate, or they just hide, kind of do this hiding time. So it just, makes me wonder how they're doing, and I'm able to, reach out and ask them and respond differently than just thinking that they're going through some kind of temper tantrum or something like that. So be aware of people who are depressed for prolonged periods of time. If they're abusing drugs or alcohol, have obsessive compulsive behaviors and anxiety attacks, flashbacks, and simply withdraw from normal activities. So this is all what PTSD is, and so now you know how to recognize it. And I would say that, you know, if you have these in your mind, to be careful with the person that you're approaching about it. Yeah, you can go through all these lists. It's like, you know, Google diagnosing. It's not really accurate. So it's important that if you start seeing these signs in yourself and in signs of people that you love around you, to actually start maybe thinking, okay, maybe I need to find out if this is something that I need to get diagnosed, you know, a diagnosis, so that I can find help, you know, with a medical team, or find ways to have body work covered by insurance. So body work and PTSD, usually, you know, I will never hear somebody coming in to say, you know, I need a massage for PTSD. That's just never said. Instead, they'll say, you know, things that they'll say things like, I need have some, you know, like on their intake form, or when I'm asking questions, they'll say, yes, I have stress, yes, I have anxiety, yes, I have some chronic pain, or maybe, you know, people just come in, you know, because their loved one felt like they needed to be treated, and they give them a gift certificate, and so I'll get a referral, and they're not really thinking about their past, because, you know, when you have these traumatic experiences, you want to avoid anything that reminds you of them. So they're completely put under lock and key. They're put behind on the back burner, and they are definitely not going there. So it's important that we don't trigger. We're important that we know how to handle people who are showing these signs, which I don't know them, so I don't live with them, so I don't know anything about them, but I can feel that from the communication that happens during the session. So when this happens, when I get people on the table, and they're, you know, I don't know much about them, I just know that they're under stress and they need some relaxation. Even this kind of work that I'll do some energy work, I'll do some physical, you know, manipulations, and I'll sense, you know, some energy stuck in the body. And what happens is sometimes people will start to experience emotional releases during the session. And when this happens, you know, just it's very, usually when this happens, it's very subtle, and it's not very, you know, it happens very smoothly, and I allow people to move through it very, very easily, and I don't talk to them much about it unless they want to talk, and it's actually very freeing for the tissues to be able to allow these emotions to come up and out. It's very freeing and very opening and very life-changing and transformative. So we can, as a massage therapist, can help people become more comfortable in their body, and really, you know, most of us do have body issues, and so when you come get a massage, you know, I always ask people, do you want to leave your clothes on? I can do some stretching. I can just work on your neck, your feet, your hands. I can do some energy work if you're not comfortable with undressing. But really what the purpose of receiving body work from and to support you through this is to feel comfortable in your body, to receive your body, to accept your body, to become present, because the trauma and the PTSD makes you want to escape, leave your body, and become disconnected from your body. And all that does is cause more pain, more headaches, more difficulty healing from other things that kind of create a chain reaction from the emotional and mental stuckness that happens in the body. So this is what I see happen oftentimes with my clients, is that they're struggling with, like a frozen shoulder, and really what they need is some emotional release, or talk about, whatever that's bothering them on their mind that day. So I call this issues in the tissues, right? So we all carry issues in our tissues, and it's important that we take the time to allow our tissues to soften, come into our bodies, and find some peace, and just breathe. And breathing is an important part of release, emotional release, and healing, and moving through these challenging experiences from the past. So I work with people slowly. We work 30 minutes, an hour, whatever is most comfortable. I work on the floor with Thai massage, do stretching. I'll get you up on the table, and do a 90-minute massage if you feel like more comfortable with that. If you feel like you need more time with that. But it's really very personalized for each person that comes in to see me. And this really is a lifelong recovery. This isn't something that you can just ignore and hope that it goes away. It won't do that. And especially the longer you ignore it, the worse the panic. The more often you have panic attacks, the more often you have anxiety, feeling like you're having a heart attack. You get sweaty palms. You don't want to. You withdraw from socializing. So don't let it go. Don't let it go. Thinking that it's just going to go away and it'll resolve itself, because it won't. It just exacerbates, and the emotional and mental stuckness in your body creates chronic pain, and also can turn into physical diseases and disorders. So massage therapy doesn't really, it doesn't cure PTSD. I'm not claiming that it does, but nothing cures it completely, really. Sufferers merely learn how to live with it, but studies show that massage does improve associated symptoms such as chronic pain, immune system deficiencies, and stress. PTSD sufferers have also been found to have elevated levels of cortisol, which leads to cognitive impairment, poor glucose management, and lower immune response, as well as interruption of homeostasis. Massage helps reduce cortisol levels, and according to studies by Touch Research Institute, it lessens the damaging effects. So there's so much more I could go into this about the polyvagal theory and how massage therapy is able to access the body from this deep vagus nerve that connects the mind and the body, and helps to restore the digestive system, and calm the heart, and heal the body through that vagus nerve. So right now we're going to, let's see what else I have here. Something that you can do at home is the best thing you can do for family members is to have compassion, understanding, and patience. These are the best tools that you can have to help heal help assist in healing deep wounds. So I want to share with you a 5 senses meditation really quick, something that you can do on your own. If you're feeling any form of stress in your life, you can do this 5 senses exercise. So right now, I want you to just notice how your body feels right now. Are you feeling tension? Are you feeling any numbness? Are you feeling any tingling? How is your breath? Without changing anything, where are you breathing? Where is it located? Is it high in the chest? Is it deep in your belly? And is it shallow or deep? How's the pace of your breath? Just notice right now. Are you feeling clear mentally? Or feeling foggy? And what's your field of vision right now? Are you aware of anything around you? Or are you just super focused in tunnel vision right now? And how is your hearing? Do you hear anything other than my voice? Now we're going to change your perception to a 360 perception, starting with the sensations in your body. Behind you, do you feel about your spine and your hands and your feet against the floor? Your spine against the chair. You feel the warmth in your hands. The weight of your body as it sits in the chair. Now change your breath and bring it deeper and slower. And now look around you. Do you see out a window, or do you see anything that catches your eye around you? And see if you can hear more sounds. And bring in your taste. What does your mouth taste like right now? Do you feel like you need a drink of water? Maybe you haven't had a drink for a little while. And this is a good reminder. So how long did it take you from going from tunnel vision to 360 vision? Just a few minutes, right? Not even that. This is a simple practice to shift from stress to from a state of stress to a state of calm. Stress is a sympathetic nervous system. Calm is the parasympathetic nervous system. So we just accessed our vagal nerve. The vagal nerve is this super amazing dynamic system in our body. But that information, 80% of the information and emotions come from our stomach, from our gut, and tells our brain how to feel and think. So by practicing 5 senses exercise every day, we learn how to shift from stress to calm, from sympathetic to parasympathetic nervous system. And this is a little bit more complicated for people who have extreme anxiety and panic attacks. So it takes a little bit more work, a deeper work. So I would love to be able to talk to you more about that. If you know somebody who needs support with helping to manage these panic attacks and these night terrors that they're experiencing and extreme outbursts, I'd love to, talk to them, work with them. And so really to just close it up with my final thoughts, I'm just going to read this last part here. A holistic approach to therapy for recovery from PTSD, and I'm just going to add trauma in there too with it, is advantageous because instead of facilitating just a structural change in the body, it helps to create a whole body-centered awareness. This allows for positive personal growth and the possibility for more total resolution of physical and psychological restrictions, emotions, and belief systems that are impediments to one's health and well-being. Massage therapists take a role of listener, teacher, coach, and surrogate caregiver. So just to close it up here, there's so many things that you can do as a caregiver at home. There's so many things that we can do that hopefully this opened the door up just a little bit for you to know that there is a lot of resources for you and your loved ones if you're suffering from trauma and PTSD. You don't have to do this on your own. You don't have to be stuck on medications your whole life. There are ways to manage this without changing the chemical structure of your body and create homeostasis and health and peace in your body so that you can come home and feel like you can accept yourself and be in control of your life. And if I'd love to talk to you more about this, there's a class that I am offering to give you more tools to use at home to support yourself in the trauma and PTSD. It's a class to teach you about aromatherapy and how to use aromatherapy to soothe as a soothing tool, self-soothing tool. And I'll be sharing 3 or 4 different blends of essential oils that you can use at home, and why aromatherapy can help and how to use them in an effective way that to support you. So I will be sharing a link in the comments of this video. Please reach out to me if you'd like to take this class. And if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, either in person or remotely, I would love to hear from you. I'll share a link with you to set up a time to talk to me about that. And I hope you have a wonderful week. I will see you again next Wednesday. Love you all. Bye-bye.